is it just me, or did, keeping with this theme of stories that people aren't giving enough attention to, is it just me, or did we not make a big deal enough, nearly enough, about this story, which I found in NBC News? Robert Mueller, has enough evidence to bring charges in the investigation of Michael Flynn. I mean, that is, in the words or initials of Joe Biden, a BFD. Federal investigators have gathered enough evidence to bring charges in their investigation of President Donald Trump's former national security advisor and his son, his rotten son, as part of the probe into Russia's intervention in the 2016 election, according to multiple sources. Did I guess the election was a big deal. Other things are Paradise Papers. But, this is big because Michael T. Flynn, he's got networks to Manafort, which means he's got networks to Mike Pence, as well as Trump. He was one of the first Trump guys to start getting scrutinized in this whole thing. The investigators are speaking to multiple witnesses, says NBC News, in coming days to gain more information surrounding Flynn's lobbying work, including whether he laundered money or lied to federal agents. Now, Michael T. Flynn and his son, number one, they're terrible human beings. They're just ghastly. I mean, on the karma scale, they are a negative 5,000. They're also apparently, this is good news. Also, by the way, they're examining whether Flynn attempted to orchestrate the removal of and I think that means extradition, of a chief rival of Turkish President Recep Erdogan from the U.S. to Turkey in exchange for millions of dollars. They're speaking of Fethullah Gulen, who lives in the United States currently. Look, Flynn represents everything that was horrible about the Trump administration. This story came out on November 5th, and we haven't heard anything since, which tells me that he may indeed, as we discussed with John Nichols last week, he may have flipped Flynn, in which case things get really interesting.